All right, do we have anybody for public forum?
Lisa Reese? Is the first person?
Lisa? Lisa?
Hi, how are you?
Got it.
I wanted to recognize Colleen Miller, who is on your agenda for retirement. My first year at Concord, I worked with Colleen, and she supported a student in my class that was in a wheelchair. We had a luncheon for them, and we set it up in the cafeteria in the elementary, and we put the food up on the stage. And as soon as they walked in, I realized what a mistake I had made, and, we quickly got it together and got the students fed. But I went into a back room and cried hysterically. And I know this story sounds like it's about me, but Colleen came in and saw me crying. And she said, "Oh, thank God." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like blubbering. And she's like, "I had my doubts about you, but I like what I'm seeing." And I could tell right there that she was measuring my heart, not my skill. And she was waiting to pass judgment on me until she saw if I had the heart for the student. And if you know Colleen, you know that her whole career has been led by her heart. I did write notes because I didn't want to miss anything, but sorry. So I've seen many colleagues come and go, and sometimes I've really just sat there and said, what a loss for our school because of their talents and what they brought to the classrooms with the kids. But Colleen, I think, is more than that. I think that the fabric of our school is going to change when she leaves. She has honestly made such an impact on all the students and all the faculty, and she leads with her heart. She is definitely an example of somebody that puts her heart or soul into what she does for the kids. And I'm going to end with, if you've ever seen a superhero bunny with a duck bill and a tail holding a student to task, you know what I mean. It's not going to be the same when we walk through the buildings wondering what she's going to be wearing and what she's going to be doing. So I just wanted to recognize her, and I want to let you all know that she does have plans to take her show on the road. She's giving away her costumes, but not all of them, and her books, but not all of them, because she said I might stop by a children's hospital or a YMCA program on my way. So that was very good to hear.
Thanks, Lisa. That's very nice. The word that comes to mind for me for Colleen is joy.
Yeah.
Always smiling, laughing. She's just a joyful person. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe. Oh, there she is.
Sorry, I'm hiding for
I didn't see you come in.
I'm kind of busy here tonight. I just wanted to thank the board. Some of you were across the street earlier. We dedicated the bus garage to Norm 40 years on November 28th. He's been a mechanic here at Taconic Hills. He's an amazing person and deserves so much more. But I just wanted to thank you all for approving the resolution to rename the bus garage Norm's Garage for this evening. So I really appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Bobby Joe. Is that it, Leslie?
Yep.
Okay, I need a motion for the acceptance of the consensus agenda. Ron, second. Molly? Any questions? All in favor? So, let's see. Tax collection presentations.
Hi, Alex. Hi.
Hi, everyone. So we just wrapped up our tax collections for 2024-2025. Our warrant was for $24,858,616.09. And of that warrant, we collected 71% by our KeyBank lockbox, 18% online, 2% was collected by myself, and 9% went unpaid. This is just a comparison of online payments that were made and the fees that we absorbed. So this was, as compared to last year, we covered $73,727 in fees for payments made online, This year, we waived that, so we paid absolutely nothing. And then this is just a breakdown of service charges, so 0. Last year, just is gonna give you that number again that we absorbed. And our key bank service charges for this year were $17,008.26, which we saw an increase of $6,622 as compared to last year. We had an uptick in our tax collection by our lockbox, and we had a little bit of an increase in the fee amounts. And all in all, we had a good year. We will be made whole, reimbursed 100% April of 2025 from the county. Any questions?
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is the Questar program, updates and information. Hi, Gladys.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to come visit. I haven't been out here in a while, so I spend a little while down here regularly. Always a pleasure to come out and share what we're doing, any updates. This is our Board of Education. I want to recognize Nadine Gazzola, who is here with us tonight, and thank her for joining us. And she is currently the board president. And we also have 10 other members, and they have a total of 300 years of school board experience in our region. Quite a bit. This is our executive team, myself, Harry, and Jim. And Jim will be speaking to you in a little bit. And as you all know, the district superintendent in the BOCES has a dual role. They are the CEO of the BOCES and oversee all the programs and services, but they're also the commissioner's representative in the region. And as such, if there's anything that comes up, the commissioner will ask us to, as district superintendents, to address anything, any matters, or give us directives that I'll talk a little bit about in a little bit. These are all our stakeholders, just like a district. We have many stakeholders. We have over 400 partnerships across our region, our 3 counties, and beyond. And one of the big initiatives that we're all excited about, actually very excited, is about the graduation measures. And I'm going to turn it over to Jim, as Jim will be our lead in our BOCES in this area.
Thank you. So I'm Jim Niedermeyer. I oversee all the academic programs at Questar. So that includes New Visions, CTE, special ed, and everything else you could think of, from STEM high school to anything else that involves teaching and learning. So it's wonderful to be back here. Actually, one of the very first things that I did in this job was to participate in the search for your superintendent. So it's nice to be back at your beautiful school. So I will tell you that as everything that New York State Education Department does, the process for rolling out these graduation measures was very lengthy and involved lots and lots of stakeholder feedback. So we are at the phase now when we are starting to get a rollout of the results of all that feedback. And so what has been rolled out are 4 transformations. And so the 4 transformations are pretty revolutionary. One is to adopt a New York State portrait of a graduate, and I'll show you what that is in a bit. Another is to redefine credits from the typical Carnegie credits that are based on seat time to a proficiency standard. So instead of just getting credit being based on, you got credit for the amount of time that you've spent in a room, to being granted credit for you being able to prove that you're proficient in that subject, which could take more or less time. That's definitely a change. There's also another big change, which is sunsetting the requirement that diploma, that graduation is coupled together with passing Regents exams. That's something that I think has gotten a lot of coverage in the news. And then the last thing is moving to one diploma from a couple of different diplomas that we have now, moving to just one diploma with a series of seals on it that would designate differentiation. So this is the New York State Portrait of a Graduate as adopted. And so this would be, in addition to students showing mastery of all of the different academic standards that you're familiar with in all of the areas that we've come to know in math and ELA and science and social studies. There are lots of other things that students need to prove that they have mastery of to be successful in life. And that's something that we've known for an awfully long time, that to be successful, once students leave our grounds, they really have to have other skills. And so New York State has recognized this as well and has introduced this Portrait of a Graduate as a way to help measure those attributes as well. And so the attributes that they've identified are the ability to be a critical thinker, the ability to be an innovative problem solver, being literate across content areas, having some kind of cultural competence, having some kind of social emotional competence, being an effective communicator, and being a global citizen. And so having all of those things in addition to just knowing what you need to know inside the classroom. So they have just recently rolled out how these different transformations are going to appear to us. And that's the thing that probably makes the most difference. And so on the left-hand side, where it says cohort, what that refers to is students who are entering 9th grade. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is that students who are entering 9th grade from this year to the year 2026 are going to experience the first transformation, and that's that transformation to one diploma. And so that's actually probably the easiest lift for everybody, going from an advanced Regents diploma to just one diploma with a seal for advanced designation on it. And so I think the state's giving schools a long runway to get prepared for the other transformations, which are a little bit more revolutionary. Then the students who are entering 9th grade in the years 2027 and 2028 are going to experience those big changes of redefining credits that focus on proficiency instead of just seat time. And also that's when we're going to start experiencing Regents exams being decoupled from graduation. So that's going to also be very significant. And then it's really not until 9th graders enter school in 2029 that school districts are going to be required to follow that Portrait of a Graduate. Not to say that school districts can't start working on their Portrait of a Graduate early. Questar 3 and many other school districts around have had portraits of graduates for a while. So that's also something that you can do, but they won't be required to have that until 9th graders entering in 2029.
Okay, another big initiative that you probably have heard about is regionalization. And what does that really mean? Regionalization is really about taking stock, having conversations as a region, taking stock of what we're doing as a region, and seeing if there are any opportunities to create additional programming, to create efficiencies for our school systems. So, and to look for ways to perhaps do more work, and it doesn't have to be through the BOCES. For example, if there's a district that has, and there's some of this, there's a lot of this already occurring with the BOCES and among districts. There are 2 districts that are sharing schools. Berlin and they're sharing schools. If, for example, there was a district that had, let's say, 3 students in one classification of special needs, and the neighboring district had, let's say, 2 more, instead of each district creating a classroom to educate those children, they can come together and they can then share the costs and create a program and transport them to one or the other districts. So those are some of the things that we're hoping to achieve with regionalization. Also, it's an opportunity to really look at what are some of the things that get in the way of us collaborating more, or what are some regulations that really need to be looked at. So we are hoping that we come up with some ideas. We started to talk about some things that we need to, the school systems, school districts need to have more input on and be able to wrap their arms around. The current, why this is all coming into place is because of not everyone in every district, not every child has the same educational opportunity. So it's about, let's look at what we're doing and let's see how we can level the playing field. Fiscal constraints. You know that last year the governor came out with a horrendous proposal for the budget that would have really impacted a lot of our districts. What they're talking about is that this year is not going to be much better, and they've been talking about that since last year. There is a study on the foundation formula that is expected to come out in the next couple of weeks. So it's about, how can we, share so we can better use our finances. The graduation measures initiatives that Jim just spoke about. And also, a big thing that has constantly been spoken of, is being spoken about, is the declining enrollment. There has been and there continues to be a declining enrollment across the state, across the nation. So that is something else that we're, those are the things that we're trying to address as we do these regionalization plans. Very important. It is now none of these things. It is not about merging. It is not about consolidation, annexation, reorganization. So it's not about this. This is how the state talks about it. It's about collaborating, sharing services, and pooling resources. The timeline, this strengths and needs tool, the timeline, it was changed to December 6th. And then there's an interim report due in April. The regionalization plan is due to state ed in October 2020. And then every 10 years, this will be a process that will be done by all DSs across the state and all those. The state has identified some roles and responsibilities for the state, for the district superintendent, and for the school districts in the process of the strengths and needs tool and the completion of that. We brought everybody together, we invited everybody, and we asked them to bring whatever they wish to bring. We came together, we talked about what it is, what it is not. We had small group conversations about what are some things that we should be looking at. And then we offered our school improvement data analysts to help any of the districts. All you need to do is reach out to Jeff Baker, our CIO, and we will help you complete this tool. So, and the goal really is to really continue to have conversations about these things, to figure out if there are any additional opportunities that we can create. The next steps is to continue to have these convenings with different groups by county, other stakeholders, and prepare for the interim progress report in April 2025. And I'm going to turn it right back to Jim, so he can give you an update and talk about a lot of the things that you asked us to talk about.
Okay, so this part's a lot more fun because I have partners. So I have some friends who are going to join me: Mahalia Ingram from the EMT program, and Caden Klein from Heavy Equipment, and Alyssa Blue from Criminal Justice. Come on down. So while they're joining me, so I had just expected Mahalia here, but your guidance counselor gets extra credit because she found me some additional CTE students. There are some new programs this year at Klein and at Gibson. So Klein is our center that's at Hudson, and Gibson's our center that's at Troy. So at Klein, we do have a new program in fire science. So we're one of the very few BOCES programs that has a fire science program. We're actually the first one that was approved. And then there was like promptly another program that was approved immediately after us, but we were the first ones. We did get our very own fire truck donated by Gloversville. And so we might be the only one with a fire truck. But I think that Mahalia is in a program that's very similar to that program. We actually introduced the fire science program because the EMT program is only 1 year long. And so we wanted to have a 2-year course of study option for folks who wanted to potentially be in the EMT course and take the fire science course, because those two things are very much needed in our region, and they go hand in hand with each other in lots of cases. So I'm going to turn things over to Mahalia so she can talk a little bit about what it's like being an EMT student at Klein.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Mahalia Ingram, and I'm enrolled in the EMT and Health Careers program at Questar 3. And my biggest inspiration, or why I joined, is because of my two biggest inspirations, my mom, who is a CNA, and my older sister, who recently just became an RN. And I also am really infatuated with organized chaos. And some skills that I've learned was that I became an independent learner. And we do this thing where we flip the classroom and students teach students. There's a station, for example, there's a station where we dismantle and put together oxygen tanks, and one student is a proctor, basically teaches or helps the student dismantle and put together the oxygen tank, and then they switch off and do the same thing so that we can create a deeper understanding with what we're doing. And yeah.
Will you compete this year, Mahalia, do you think?
I hope so. Yeah.
And so we belong to Skills USA. We're a total program participation school in both schools. And so we do competitions a lot. And actually, we've had a lot of success in the EMT program competing. And so are you junior or senior?
Senior.
So you're a senior. And what are your career goals?
I want to attend SUNY Morrisville to study nursing.
Very good. So thank you very much.
I'm sorry, if I may, I just want to let folks know that I had an opportunity to visit Klein. And I don't know if you remember, you took my blood pressure.
Yeah.
You did a very good job.
We won't ask what it was.
It was good.
Good, great. So there's also a new program in electrical trades at Gibson. So that's the first year of electrical trades. And if that program ends up doing well, that's a program that we could also bring south. But we try to pilot it in one place first and kind of get it off the ground, build the curriculum. And then if it kind of gets off its feet, we'll bring it to the other center as well. We also have heavy equipment programs in 2 locations. One we have at Gibson, and another one we have at Maryland A. Noonan School, which is in Durham. And so we have a student who attends that program. So Caden attends that program. So could you talk a little bit about the heavy equipment program, and maybe some of the projects that you did this year and about how that's going?
Oh, certainly. Hello, guys. My name is Caden Klein. I do attend the heavy equipment program. So this year is obviously I'm a junior, and it's my favorite thing I've ever done in school. We've already gone on 2 job sites so far. We've gone to a museum like 5 minutes down the road. We had to take a hill out and do drainage systems, and a lot of us, some of the kids really didn't know how to run machinery. I have a little background, but nothing crazy. Like here, run a skid steer, here, run an excavator. We're like, okay, sweet. So it's all hands-on stuff, and that's one of my biggest things. I'm not like a sit there at a desk all day like this. No, I like hands-on stuff, running machinery. It's my favorite things. And heavy equipment to me is a very big thing. We've got our the first and second weekend, you get your OSHA 10. that's a big thing. It means you can start running equipment like out of the blue. Next year, we're getting our OSHA 30, and I'm personally going for my CDL. I'm going for my restricted A because over at Heavy Equipment, we had a dump truck with a trailer with air brakes, so that's how you get your restricted A. I'm gonna go for that because I got a summer job down in Hillsdale over at Power Pump, and I absolutely love it there. And I need one of those licenses to run one of the drill rigs. I guess back to the job sites that we've done is we did that one museum type. It was like an old schoolhouse. It's called the Dillon Museum. You can go past it. You can see the drainage. We did the drainage. We made a parking lot, and then we went 5 minutes up the road from the school. It was the old. I guess it was the old Greenville schoolhouse. Very cool place. Very old antiques, and we had to do another. We had to divert the water from overflowing into the actual house. We diverted all the way around into a stream, which is very cool. We actually found some old artifacts, which was, I don't know, pretty cool on my part. But to me, Heavy Equipment is a very fun program. I've already learned so much how to run from a little skid steer all the way up to a bulldozer that we have there. I hear that we might be getting we're trading our dozer for a front end loader, supposedly.
It's news to me, Katie.
I hope it'll be kind of fun, get some more hands-on stuff. So thank you guys. I really appreciate this.
But do you like it? We also have, so there's one other program at the Durham site. So there's an agriculture science program at the Durham site. And because that's a pretty new site, that took a little while to get off the ground. I wonder, Caden, if you could describe a little bit about what the outside lab looks like at the agriculture science program right now, because that took a while to build up, but what does that look like now?
Oh my God, the ag program is we'll be working in class and, can we take a break? Yeah, sure, why not? So we'll go outside and you go out our back doors and you go up a hill, we have a paver sitting there, and then all of a sudden you just see fences. As an example here, you got all these fences in the background. So I guess I think it was last year they built the pen thing, and they have this huge enclosed pen, and there's different sections off. There's a couple, mini barns, and they have all these little goats. I'm like, oh my God, they're adorable. One of them there is named Tilly. Tilly is our best friend. We love Tilly. Just want to give you a heads up.
Everybody mentions Tilly.
We literally probably can go outside and go see Tilly time. Sure. Okay. So actually, that's Tilly right there. I can't make it up. So yeah, you go outside, you have fences, you have a little pen, and then there's actually gardens on the back half of the school. I think there's an enclosed garden, then there's raised garden beds for flowers. And I'm pretty sure they're trying to expand, and I think they have to talk to some of their higher ups to, I think they're trying to get like a yearling cow.
Yeah, eventually there'll be larger animals there too. So we started with goats and chickens, and we have rabbit as well. And so it's a really nice outdoor space, and we're really happy. It took a long time to get ready. Our construction programs helped build. Our heavy equipment programs also helped dig out the spaces to install the outdoor lab. And next year, I'll also say that not only will we have an ag science program, which we really hope to build up, we're also going to introduce an agriculture services class, and that's designed for students who need a little bit more one-on-one attention, but still want to be involved in agriculture programs or want to work with animals, but maybe have additional needs and need a little bit more one-on-one attention. So we're really proud of the work that we've done there. We just need additional students. So if you have students who are interested in agriculture studies, I think that would be a good place for them to go. I also have Alyssa here. Alyssa is in the criminal justice program. And so Alyssa, are you junior or senior?
I'm a junior.
A junior. So could you talk a little bit about the criminal justice program?
Yeah. Well, I'm a junior at Questar. In the beginning of the year, we started filling out tickets and learning the stages of arresting somebody, which is very helpful because we do it with partners. So we get to do it hands-on and learn from our partners, not just doing it by ourselves and not knowing. And we're right now currently doing DUI. Those variety tests. I really enjoy being at Questar because it's a different environment
and I don't have to be here all day. It's nice not to be in a classroom, and it's nice to be around people who have the same interests as me. It's very helpful. And Questar prepares me for my future because it's putting me one step ahead of certain people and get college credits. So if I go to college for criminal justice, I already have a jump start to that. And if I decide to go to the police academy, then I already know the basics, and it would just put me one step ahead of somebody who's brand new and just started. I would recommend Questar to somebody who's a hard worker. I wouldn't just recommend it to somebody who doesn't want to be here all day, because it is a lot of work and you have to be invested and enjoy what you're doing. And I really enjoy being there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I also want to say, so every single one of our CTE programs has an articulation agreement with at least one college. Every single one of our programs has a technical assessment that students take at the end of it. Our technical assessment pass rates are extraordinarily high. Also, one thing that's important to know is that the rate of the students that take our assessments is extraordinarily high. And that is very rare. We are very proud of the fact that everybody takes our assessments, and we still have an over 90% pass rate on our assessments, and very high technical endorsement rate. We do some things in our BOCES that a lot of other BOCES don't do, including providing some special ed services to our folks within classes that aren't provided in other places, like providing consultant services in classes for integrated courses. Because one thing that does happen is that students do get some math and science and ELA credits through some of these courses. So junior year, they get math and science credits, and senior year, they get ELA credits. And so we make sure that they are also getting special ed services when they are required to get them via their IEP. And that is not something that is necessarily required for CTE programs to do, but we do. We do make sure that we give those to students because it's necessary for them to do well. I want to thank you because you stood up here for a really long time, but before I have them sit down, does anybody have any questions for students? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we talked about a lot of these things. I just want to highlight a couple of other things that we're doing. So we did expand our cosmetology program at Klein. So what that means is that we're actually running 2 sections at the same time at Klein. We used to have really long waiting lists for cosmetology. Now we're running 2 sections and kind of swapping sections in the middle. So we have 40 students that we can serve instead of just 20. And that's a big deal for us. We're also doing some kind of innovative things at Culinary Arts in Gibson. We're doing a teaming approach this year with a group out of Arizona State University, where instead of having a section of a service level course and a section of a CTE course, we're really running a class that has 40 students assigned to it with 2 teachers and 2 TAs, where there are different stations that students will rotate throughout class, so that we don't have that problem where we have lots of students on waiting lists. So that's one thing for some of our popular programs. We want to make sure that we're serving all the students that we can. We don't have a lot of students who don't get into the programs that they want to get into. So we're trying some different things in order to serve everybody who wants to get into these programs. New Visions programs, we do have some new programs. This year we have a medical program at Columbia Green Community College this year. We had a very popular one in Hudson Valley and Samaritan Hospital. We opened up a new section at Columbia Green and Columbia Memorial this year to make it a little bit easier on transportation for some southern schools. There's also that business New Visions course at Columbia Green Community College, which is an excellent course where students can get 18 college credits for a year's worth of work. If students are interested in accounting and finance, it's a great course. But both of those are at Columbia Columbia Green Community College. Also oversee special ed programs, and although they often don't get a lot of attention we're always doing innovative things in special education. We have many different kinds of special education programs, everything from programs that serve medically fragile students to programs that integrate therapeutic services into the student's day, programs that serve students who have pretty significant behavioral needs. So all types of special education programs that are pretty outstanding as well. And this year we're also integrating some new things like putting OT and PT integrated into students' days, and also integrating more reading services at higher levels in middle school and high school levels. STEM High School, which is at Hudson Valley Community College, where all students will end up with an associate's degree, either sometime between 4 and 6 years, depending on which major they have. The first graduating class will be this year. Students are racking up tons and tons of college credits in that program, and so we're really excited about our first graduating class this year. Tech Valley High School will graduate its 15th class this year, and so there are also, I think, 4 Taconic Hills students at Tech Valley High School this year. Just kind of to show you all the different New Visions courses that we have. So New Visions, really proud of our New Visions programs. These are for seniors. So in addition to the regular CTE classes that we have that you think of, I mean, we have courses like aviation. I think you have a student who's in our aviation program. So we have a new attorney at Questar, and he thought that our aviation program was done with simulators in a classroom. And when he found out that no, our juniors actually are flying in the air, he was quite surprised that we allowed students to do that. And I said, "Isn't there substantial risk in that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so students do actually fly, but also we have these New Visions programs. So Pathways in Education teaches kids to be teachers. By the end of that course, students take their TA exam, and so they graduate with a TA as TAs and ready to become teachers. And almost all of the students, I think 40 out of 41 have become education majors. And this year, for the first time, we actually have graduates of that program in the Questar region as teachers. So that program is doing really well.
Where is that program?
Pathways, SUNY Albany, yeah. Visual and Performing Arts is in Troy. So that is also a great program where students do everything from dance to visual arts to music. The Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math program the STEM program is at RPI. We have medical programs at Columbia Green and at Hudson Valley. We have the Scientific Research program that's at SUNY East. We have the Business and Finance and Accounting program that's at Columbia Green. And we have the Emergency Preparedness, Informatics, Cyber, and Homeland Security program, or EPIC. And that is at the ETech building, which is across from the Harriman campus on the SUNY Albany campus. It's a really outstanding program as well. And we have had many students actually go to school right from there to learn how to be Homeland Security folks and FBI folks and all kinds of things.
So can you talk to them a little bit about the hybrid program we're hoping to launch?
Yeah, so this year we're trying to do something new in order to help schools save some costs and also to save on transportation, but also to help fill a need. One of the programs that we were looking at doing is a law program, and law programs, a lot of law schools are now switching to online courses already. Albany Law School is actually almost entirely online. So they have very few classes that are actually in person, and a lot of them are asynchronous classes where you can kind of log in at any time. And so we thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting if instead of having schools get on a bus and coming to a place to do this. What if we experimented and did something like that for a New Visions Law program? And so what we hope to do is to be able to offer schools a New Visions Law program that's asynchronous, so that students don't have to have a half-day block in their schedule that's open, so that they can take the law classes around gaps in their schedule whenever they have a study hall or after school, whenever they can fit it in. And we supplement that with field trips and also other work-based learning experiences, like going to courts and going to places around the capital region, so that they can experience everything that we have to offer here, and maybe sometimes to gather together as a cohort, but kind of creating a hybrid New Visions course, and still allowing them to take English and PIG and economics here in their home district. And another thing that I think would be attractive about that is that a lot of the students that we can't get in these New Visions courses are those students in your districts who want to take all the honors classes and AP classes, and maybe are kind of really college bound and couldn't see themselves leaving the school for that long each day. So hopefully we can, but still want a neat experience like New Visions. So we hope to kind of reach that audience through a hybrid course like that too. And if it works, there's lots of opportunities to do different kinds of hybrid courses like that in the future. And it saves you on transportation. So hopefully that works out. Right now, I'm really looking at courses that would align with paralegal courses, like initial paralegal courses, so that students could roll right into a paralegal program. Because intro paralegal jobs, you can really make about $85,000 as a paralegal, which is pretty good. And it's also a great job to have if you want to go to law school and work at the same time. But we think it could be a great experience for kids.
We currently have 85 students in all of the New Visions programs. You asked for a 3-year look back at your district's New Visions participation. During 21-22, we had no Taconic students in these programs. 3 students attended during 22-23, and 5 attended during 23-24. You had a 1-pager and in your folders that gives you a snapshot of everything on place. And if you look on the back, this year you have 4 student evaluations. Then you also asked about how these programs are promoted, and we promote them both through our BOCES. We bring in,
Oh,
you want to talk a little bit about
yeah,
that?
is there a slide about that
No.
actually? There's not. What was it?
No.
Okay, so there was. Yeah, go back to it.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do have lots of upcoming events that are designed to promote some of the New Visions nights or New Visions programs. We also have events for counselors. So we have some upcoming actually there's a luncheon for counselors in this region to promote all of our programs, where they'll get info booklets for all of the Questar programs. But there's information nights for parents where they can learn more about our programs. We also do advertising on the radio and the internet. And that's true for every one of our programs. We do lots of information sessions for New Vision, STEM High School, and Tech Valley High. We try to promote the programs that are kind of lacking students. There are some programs that are like constantly full, like culinary arts and cosmetology. Those are programs that really don't need our promotion because students seem to find those. Auto tech is another one that students seem to find. Criminal justice.
And those are all at the Hudson location, correct?
Yep.
That's correct.
And that's probably why,
both.
that's probably one of the reasons why they're picking those is because how many programs are offered in Hudson?
13.
Yes, something like that. And those are duplicated at both centers. The only one that
Aviation.
aviation is the only one that the Hudson Center has that the other one doesn't.
And I find it, now this year, there's no one in the STEM high school. Did we have any in those other years in the STEM high
I would
school?
have to go back.
That's okay. I'd be interested because, that is something that's, an up and coming field, and to have no students in that's a little troubling to me.
And they can get their associate's degree at no cost.
At no cost, yeah.
Because the grants support the tuition.
Books, everything at no cost.
You also asked about CDL, and you and I have talked about
Oh,
CDL.
yes.
So we tried to launch a CDL course. And can you tell me about it?
So yeah, we were able to get instructors for the CDL course, but we didn't have enough interest to be able to actually run it. So I think Caden talked a little bit about how we're running CDL in our CCE programs. So we do have our heavy equipment teachers are willing to run CDL courses if we have enough people to be able to run a class. We were looking for 5 students last year, and I think we only had 2 people who were interested in doing it.
So after this presentation, just come see me before you leave, if possible, or get a hold of me, because I'm with the Teamsters, as you know, and we have a mobile unit simulator. We have a simulator, and we've been going to BOCES. We went to Warren County, went to Saratoga County, and the kids got to sit in the seat and drive it, and that's how you get interest in those types of things. If they don't know it's available to them, there's not going to be interest. So if you want me to come, we can come there. I'm just saying that, in order to get children invested or interested in stuff, they have to be exposed to it.
Our heavy equipment programs too also have very, very healthy enrollment. Yeah.
They're
It's good.
cool.
It's good to hear.
They're cool.
So the CDL programs that we were trying to run were for adults.
So, what else did you ask? You asked about, considering an agricultural school here. So that's, we're trying to get our, program over as Tim shared, trying to get our program, up and running and, hoping that this districts will send us more students. It's a school that was donated to us by, Durham. It's 35 acres. So there's a lot of land for students to, have equipment as he shared and for the agriculture program to grow it. You also asked about special ed programs here, and we're always willing to create programs. If there's a group of students that we can support right here in this district, we could potentially do that. That's some of the work that we're hoping comes out of the regionalization.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, when you're talking about the regionalization, I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, as you say, enrollment's going down, and some of these school districts have room in their schools, and why not utilize the schools to run program, and you don't have to bus them as far. And I really appreciate that you now have programs at Columbia Green, so our kids don't have to go to Albany. So I thanks for that.
Absolutely. And then a little bit about the capital project that we.
Oh yeah, so I could talk about the Gibson project. So the Marilyn Noonan project really started before I was there, but there was a significant amount of work done at Marilyn Noonan. It had been a school that was shuttered for quite a while, and so there was a lot of work done to make sure that the school could be back up and running. It's a beautiful school. It is an older school, but it does have a lot of grounds that we can take advantage of for the agriculture program. Inside the school also houses a special education program, and so we're really thankful to have that space and to be able to have a location in Greene County. We were able to, one of the things that's a challenge for BOCES is being able to build. So building for us isn't as simple as being able to go out for a capital project vote. We actually have to have a vote of all of our component school districts. And it's difficult to get two people to agree on where to go to dinner, let alone to have all the component school districts agree on what to build. And so we take advantage of the existing space that we have. So we were able to convert an existing warehouse that we had at Gibson into a welding and heavy equipment studio. And that has opened this year. So we were able to, Gibson never had welding, and so we were able to open up welding there as well this fall. We also did some renovation at STEM High School. We were able to build a really nice innovation lab and do some kind of security upgrades at STEM High School. So we're excited about that. And what we're working on now is really going to benefit your students greatly, the students that attend Klein and Hudson. That will be the next big project that we do. We're right now in the early planning stages of renovating that facility, especially the lab spaces within that facility. It's a very nice facility. It's definitely our biggest facility, but it needs some upgrading and modernization. And so we hope to be able to do that within the next few years, but it does take a lot of planning.
So these are some of the programs that Takana Hills does participate in. I would say a lot of programs. And these are other programs. We have over 300 programs and services. And we serve not only our region, but we serve 100% of districts in New York State through our state aid planning service and other state life services, and we serve most of the folks. Last year, the district purchased $2.9 million of services, 608,000 was special ed services, and the aidable services were approximately 2.9 million, with a net cost of 1.5 million or 68%. The aid level, BOCES aid is 32 cents for every dollar spent. So that is the amount of funds that the district would get back. This was this is this year's administrative budget, and actually it's, and then the estimated cost net of the BOCES aid and refund. And that is all I have. Questions or comments?
I think I asked all along. Okay, can we look at my scribble here?
I have a question. Yeah, so they usually start the program in 11th grade. So if they start doing something and then decide they don't like it, do they just switch to a different program or come back to school? And
Yeah, there's some programs that start in 12th grade, like the EMT and fire programs. Those are just 12th grade programs. All the New Vision programs are just 12th grade programs. Some students do switch though to programs if it's not for them, so they can do that.
Any other questions?
I asked all mine. I asked mine during your talk.
So, thank you again for giving us the opportunity to come and share what we've been doing, what we've been up to, and how your students have really benefited from that.
Thank you
So
very much.
thank you
Thank
to all
you.
the students.
So, good evening, everyone. Along the line of what we just talked about, We're going to continue discussing career preparation and early college programs we offer here at Taconic Hills. So tonight's presentation is going to highlight 3 of these career preparation and early college programs. The QuestStar, which you have already heard a lot about, as well as the New Visions Early College, as well as the BARD Early College. And all of these programs really do focus around our mission, where we're looking to engage and enrich our students so that they're successful in their future, as well as our vision, where it's a partnership with our community. We've heard a lot tonight already about the partnership pieces. So it's really about that comprehensive, full graduate, exciting educational experience for all of our students. So the first one, I'm going to ask Nick to come up, Nick Purificato. He is one of our school counselors at the high school, and he's going to talk a little bit about this one.
Thanks, Andrew. First, I want to thank all the students that were brave enough to come in today and present to you guys. I know it's not an easy task. Some kids might thrive at this, but not everybody. So as far as career preparation, obviously we do a lot in-house as well as go out to QuestStar and New Visions and BARD. But for career prep, at the beginning of the year, we're starting with a lot of CTE classes. We offer, we're getting actually really better with the construction aspect, a lot more interest in that in the last 2 years. Those classes are now becoming full. So we have that offered. Obviously, we have the cooking classes, we have business. So a lot of early, they were pushing in early so the kids can know about what their options are moving forward before they reach that 11th and 12th grade year. And obviously, as school counselors, we're required to meet with these kids at the minimum 1 time a year. It's usually way more than that, but 1 time a year where we discuss like individually their career aspirations and how are we going to get you to that point, whether it's QuestStar, whether it's jobs, careers, things like that. And we also have business type classes like financial decision making, which is helping kids learn about kind of like adulting life when it comes to finances, and career studies when they can search more into their career aspirations for them. And like I said, we've already talked a lot about QuestStar. That's usually with the career preps. We just put them into classes to have them sign up if they're interested, at least get on the tour of QuestStar, which last year I think there were like 70 kids out of the 80 something go. And then we have a lot of kids at QuestStar this year.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What grade do you start to have these conversations with these students about what their career outlook may, what they're interested in? I mean, obviously that changes.
Yeah, it varies. So New York State law is that we have to go in starting in kindergarten and expose these kids to different types of careers. And what that looks like obviously is going to look different to the elementary kids. And 7th, 8th, 9th through 12th, we're going more in depth. Looking into those programs.
But are we doing it in elementary?
Yes.
We are
Yep.
doing
As far our guys saying, yeah, we have to. Okay. So like I said, it looks different. It could be a career day. It could be just someone coming in, show tell, like this is what I want to be. So that it's variety.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it gets way more in depth when we get into the high school levels. And as far as early college programs, we're gonna have students talk about New Visions. You heard a little bit of New Visions. We have BARD. Obviously, we have students that may not feel comfortable or maybe didn't apply or didn't get into those programs. So usually we have 3 students go to BARD and 3 to 5 go to New Visions, and the rest will stay here. So obviously, if they're not ready to leave these doors to go explore that, it's okay. We do have plenty of college level classes like English 101, Chem 101. We have AP classes. Before the presentation started, I looked, and most of our seniors who are college bound and are like pushing into those English 101 classes, Chem 101 classes, they are leaving here with usually the minimum almost 18 to 20 college credits. So they're almost done with their first year of college before they leave here. And since it's a co-green, we have 1 UAlbany accredited class. Those are all transferable to all SUNY schools in New York. And So some private schools, they might not take them as an English 101, they might take them as more of an elective type class, but they still transfer as college credit. So they're leaving here well off for it. Any questions in that realm? Perfect. Thank you. We've already heard from Melissa.
Glad to hear from those wonderful students. And the next student up is Madison Ramsey, and she's going to talk to you about her New Visions program.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Maddie. I'm a student at New Visions Medical at Columbia Green. So originally, I was waitlisted from the program. I was really upset about it. It was hard news to hear, but then I got a call from Mr. Pierficato that they made a second program in the South, which I want to say is actually a lot more convenient for students that live around here, not having to go to Albany every day. I was nervous at first, but now that I've been there, I actually wake up and I'm excited to go to school. I'm excited about learning. I'm excited to see what I'm doing throughout the week. We go on so many cool trips. We just went to Albany Med Simulation Center, and we got to see like this mannequin, and you can check its vitals. It talks to you. The guys in the other room talking to you through the mannequin. It was so cool. And then we went and we saw the Federal Reserve in New York City. So we got to see all the gold and everything. It was really cool. We meet some really cool people. We have guest speakers like every other week almost, I want to say. Anyone from like pediatric doctors, we see a pediatric neurosurgeon next week, which is super cool. And then we shadow it at CMH in Hudson every Monday. We get to wear our scrubs and we walk around the different departments. So we get to see all different kinds of stuff. We get to shadow in the ER, we get to shadow in the pharmacy, like anything you can think of, you get to see all of it. And it's really cool to just walk around and be with these people and get that experience. And it really tells you if that's what you want to do. So I really do think it's a great program, and I totally recommend it for anyone. And I'm also getting a lot of college credit for it too, so it's really good.
I love that you're so excited about it. That makes me happy.
I love it, and I love wearing my scrubs and my hospital. Thank you guys.
Thank you. And I don't see Blake out here today. I think maybe we'll move forward, and if she comes in, we'll add her in. So the next group I want to introduce is Matthew Park and Michael Wood, and they are here from Bard College with us.
Do you want me to click or?
Are you more comfortable clicking?
Sure.
Down.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to the administrative team for inviting me today. Thank you to the trustees of the Board of Ed and families and community members of Taconic Hills. So I'm Matt Park. I'm the director of Bard Early College, Hudson Valley. I am a lifelong educator. Before becoming the director of the Hudson Valley program, I was a teacher at a Bard High School Early College for nearly a decade. And now I'm currently up here working for Bard. Bard Early College Hudson Valley was founded in 2017. And since then, we have produced some really amazing outcomes for students from Dutchess, Columbia, and Greene counties. Since I've taken over the program as director in 2021, 100% of the students from Taconic Hills who have come to our program have gone on to college or university after finishing our program. In just the past 3 years, students who have gone to the Bard Early College program have been offered over $1 million in scholarships from Bard College itself. That's not counting scholarships that they were offered from other colleges or universities around the country. That's just the money that Bard is throwing at our early college students to try and entice them to come to Bard. And that number is definitely about to go up because Bard College actually just took the unprecedented step of guaranteeing to meet the full financial need for any Bard Early College student who goes through the early college program and then goes on to Bard College. So,
That's awesome.
well, now you know. You need to apply to Bard.
I did already.
So that is a new development. Bard has always given its most generous financial offers to early college students. But this is the first time that they're guaranteed to meet a family's full financial need after they filled out, the FAFSA and all of the relevant financial documentations. So from where the family's income leaves off until the full cost of BARD is guaranteed to pick up that full cost for early college students. Again, right, 100% of the students from Taconic who have come to our program have gone on to college or university. That has included a number of places, not so much BARD yet, but again, we're hoping, right, that this is going to change that. And, right, students like Ava will be going on to BARD in the future. But they have gone on to some other really amazing universities, Marist, Sarah Lawrence, UC Santa Clara. I always want to say Santa Cruz, but that's not in Santa Clara. Alfred University, and we currently actually have a student who is studying abroad at Oxford and is an alum of the program. Students who go through the full program in junior and senior years earn 28 college credits, which is transferable at a number of different places around the country. Currently, Taconic Hills has historically only sent seniors. And so the seniors who attend the program from Taconic earn up to 14 college credits. One of the things that we would definitely love is if obviously you would continue your support for the BARD program so that we can continue producing these kinds of outcomes for Taconic students. But we would also very much appreciate it if you would consider allowing juniors to begin the program as well.
How many students from Taconic Hills since your inception in 2017 have gone through the BARD program? Do you have that number?
Yeah, so it's since 2017, no. Since I took over in 2021, it's been 3 seniors per year, and then this is the first year that we actually have 4 seniors.
Okay.
So it's been steadily 3 seniors until this year when it was.
But that's the limit usually, right? Is that all that is that?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Okay. When people hear BARD and when people hear a BARD early college program, they often assume that this is a program for the valedictorians, the salutatorians, right? And in fact, that's not actually what our program is, and that is not actually the goal of our program. It's not to come into a school district and suck up the most talented students, take the valedictorians and those kinds of students and get them into the program. Our program is equity-based. When you look across the BARD Early College program, over 50% of the students in the program do qualify for free or reduced price lunch. And many of them will be the first in their family to go on to graduate college with a bachelor's degree, if they do go on to do so. We work with our partner high schools, whether that's Taconic or elsewhere, to identify students who might be appropriate for the program. And again, that's not always necessarily based on GPA. There's no GPA minimum to get into our program. There are no standardized exam score minimums to get into our program. We work with our partners and they say, we've got this kid who's great. What do you think, right? And some of those kids are A students and some of those kids are B students. And quite frankly, some of those kids are C students, right? But if our partner districts say, this is a great kid, grades are not so good, they're perfect for BARD. What do you think, right? That's the kind of student that actually we want. That's the kind of student who's really for us and for our program. We currently have 2 campuses. So one meets at the Duchess Bosey building, and you can see our partners on Duchess there. Taconic students come to our campus in the city of Hudson, where they work together with students from Hudson, from Carroll Durham, from Greenville, Catskill, and from Ichabod Crane. And so the students do get to meet other students from the surrounding counties and from some of the other school districts here. They get to make new friends and expand their kind of understanding of what's going on around here. It is a half-day program, and it is, again, typically for juniors and seniors, with the exception of Taconic. In junior year, students typically earn 14 college credits, and the same is true of their senior year, totaling to 28 college credits, which is roughly a full year's worth of college credits. That really does give students an advantage when they leave our program. It really does help them to graduate early or on time from college. In their junior year, our students take U.S. History and BARD seminar. And both of those courses, they count for credits towards high school graduation. They both prepare students for the Regents exam. We've never had any issues with students taking our courses and not passing those respective Regents. In fact, the students often feel kind of overqualified and do very well on those exams. And both of those courses also count for 3 college credits per semester. In their senior year, our students take 2 ELA courses, one in the fall and one in the spring. So in the fall, they take the art and craft of memoir, and in the spring, the art and craft of fiction. And again, those count towards ELA credits towards graduation, as well as college credits. And each semester, our seniors also take a senior elective, and these can be in a number of different topics depending on the availability of professors and student interest. So we have had electives in the fine and performing arts, in psychology, data analytics, genetics and biology, debate and rhetoric, and there are others as well. We've had, courses in music theory. We've had all kinds of different things that our seniors have been able to do. Each year, students also take college experience, and that is once a week. We walk students through the college application process. We provide them support in terms of researching which colleges might be appropriate for them, applying to college, going through the financial aid process, and supporting students as they figure out what's the next step in life for them. Okay. Our students succeed at a 95% rate. So in any given semester, at least 95% of the students earn college credits in their BARD classes. We have had some semesters where it's been 100%, where every single student has actually earned college credits. The average is probably about 95. That's an incredibly high rate for a college program. We work tirelessly. In a second, I'll call up our Dean of Students, Mike Wood. He is really the reason why the success rate is so high, and why students are earning college credits at a 95% rate. Right? Again, I kind of went over the college credits, so I won't go too much more into that. And again, right, 100% of Taconic students have gone on to college or university after our program. And when you look at other districts as well, it's 99% with 1% going to the military. And any student who does go to the military, their BARD credits will be waiting for them when their service is finished. They can always use those credits later on in life if they do decide, well, I want to go to college or university after, right? And so those credits will always be there for them for whatever they want to do next in life. I'm not going to read necessarily all of this, but again, our students have done some really incredible things in the program. They've gone on to win awards, compete in national writing contests, and they've been recognized for some of the great work that they do in the program. Again, on the bottom here, this is a broader list of students in the entire BARD Early College program from other districts as well, and some of the college or universities that they've gone to. 100% of our credits always transfer to any SUNY or CUNY school after they leave us. But generally speaking, the BARD Early Colleges at this point have been around for 20 years. There's 10 BARD Early College campuses around the country. Our name at this point is really well known. Our credits are highly respected. And if any credits are going to transfer, we do find that BARD credits have a pretty easy time transferring to all kinds of different colleges or universities around the country. Whether it's a big school, small school, public, private, we typically don't have too many issues with our credits transferring to different places. And finally, in our program, students work with real college professors with terminal degrees in their field of study. They are working with, many of them are actually professors at Bard College Annandale. So they are real Bard College professors who also want to work with high school age students and bring Bard College's education to a different population. But they all have terminal degrees in their fields of study. They are active in publishing. Many of them are deeply rooted in the Hudson Valley. So we've had a number of historians who have published historical works about the Hudson Valley. We've had people studying the ecology of the Hudson Valley. So it really is a very locally kind of rooted faculty. Just recently, we took some of our students to the DIA in Beacon to go to the Art Institute there and meet with artists and things like that. So we have all kinds of local opportunities for students And again, I'm not going to read all of this. It's all up there, but our professors are, they're fairly prestigious, and some of them are nationally recognized in all kinds of different ways. But enough from me. We do have some students from the program with us today, and as well, again, I'm going to invite up in a second Mike Wood, our Dean of Students, and he can introduce himself. You also have a folder in front of you with some testimonials from our students. Those testimonials do include the 2 students who are here today, as well as 3 other students. So some of them are currently in the program and some of them are alums. But you can take a look at those when you have a second, and you can see what they've said about the ways in which our program has really changed their lives. That being said, let me stop speaking and let's invite up Ava, Aurora, Mike. Come on up. Mike, would you mind just saying hi real quick?
Hi, real quick. My name is, we practiced that before. Yes, I'm Mike Wood. I serve as the Dean of Students. I've been doing this job about 4 years. Like Matt, I've worked in education for a while as well. I worked at Bard College's campus for a while in the admission office. And so part of what I do is helping students as they apply to colleges. And I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. It's incredibly rewarding, the work we do in general, and particularly with Taconic Hills. You are an incredibly professional district. I really appreciate our partnership and how everything from the selection of students to working with them, your commitment is sort of palpable in every interaction we have. So I appreciate that, and I'm just here to support the students as well.
And Aurora, you're up first on the slide. So
hi, my name is Aurora Anderson. This is obviously my first year doing Bard. I love every single aspect of it, truly. I have learned so much about any field that I want to go into. My favorite class right now is probably memoir. A lot of people say it's really boring, but we are writing our own personal memoirs that are going to be published in Scholastic articles. I'm so excited about it. It really helped me dive into myself as a person. You learn more about yourself. You learn about how what you value. And I thought that was so amazing. I wrote about a time in my life where I wasn't feeling the greatest, and it really helped me come to terms with those as well. And then another class I'm taking is social psychology. I love that class so much. I love Erica. She's also a therapist in her side job, or a counselor, I guess, is what she could be considered. She's so amazing. So is Rachel. Rachel's our memoir teacher. All our faculty is amazing. They're so supportive. They are so amazing, and they just are there for you. I love the intimate relationship. You have one-on-one conversations with your teachers. You have that connection with them. You aren't scared to go up to them after class and ask them a question, or even during class. They're always so accepting and welcoming. Even on my first day there, they were so adamant on getting to know us. Jamal is so amazing. I love him. He's our college experience teacher. But I think that the most important thing that I take away from Bard is that it helps you not only be a better student, better writer, a better anything, but it truly helps you become a better person for yourself. I feel like it encourages you to grow as a person. It encourages you to become your own person. It encourages you to think on your own. It encourages you to just discover who you are and what you want to do. And I feel like that's one of the most important things that I take away from school and from Bard. That's it.
I totally agree with everything Aurora said. They're so supportive. They're the most supportive teachers I've had, and the college experience class really helps us with the college application process, and gives us a ton of advice that I would never have known if I didn't take this class. I know I already started, but I'd like to start again with the fact that I think it's an amazing idea to allow juniors to do this program through our school, because I am getting 14 college credits, and I could have had double that if I did this. And I have more reasons, but Also, the mission statement of what this is meant to do for our students, I forget the exact words that it used, but this is really achieving that mission.
Thank you. That's important for the board to hear.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
it's okay. So my best friend and boyfriend of 1 year did the BARD program last year. Avery Byrne, she graduated last year. And they recommended it to me. And I immediately knew that I would love it because it's my best friend and my boyfriend, and they like know me the best of everybody in my life. And I love them and they love me. And so I was like, okay, that's a good idea. I should do that. So I did, and they couldn't have been more right that I would love it. Hold on, let's see what I wrote. My BARD early college classes are the highlight of my day. The program is a breath of fresh air. It's a completely different learning experience from the rest of high school. I love the small classroom environment. There are about 10 kids in our class. There are only 2 in the junior class, which if Taconic Hill students could go, there would be a lot more. I feel very cared about and respected as a human there. I don't have to raise my hand to go to the bathroom, which is nice. The classes we take are extremely nourishing and interesting. They're very geared towards my personal interests, so I wouldn't recommend it to just anybody, but I love to write, so the memoir class is very fun. The fiction class we're taking next semester, I'm really looking forward to. Social psychology is so interesting to me. Last year, Avery took textile arts, and she always came home with cool pieces of cloth that she designed. She has like a tapestry hanging in her car that she made in that class. She also took a debate class, which I heard all about, and she loved it. The BARD early college classroom is the most judgment-free classroom environment I've ever been in. Like the kids are, let me just read from, okay. Okay, going back to how the classes are interesting and nourishing, I come out of every class feeling connected to what I've learned and even more connected with myself. I never feel even the slightest bit of fear or embarrassment among my classmates. We are all able to be vulnerable and share personal experiences without worrying about being judged or looked down on. The classes we take, oh, I already said that. And, oh yeah, well, I already said this, but the professors, the college experience class took away a lot of my stress during the college application process, and hearing about my classmates' experiences also gave me some comfort to know that I was maybe a little ahead of them. And that's pretty much it. And these guys are great. They're very helpful all the time. Yeah.
Do you mind if I say something else? I wanted to also bring up the fact that like the connections you make at BARD with the other classes, the other students at BARD, even from other schools. I went to Greenville for 2.5 years, and I only knew one kid that went there from Greenville, and it was just like I knew he was in it because he did it his junior year, and I'm like, oh well, I know my people from my school and I know my people from Greenville. I don't know anyone else. And the first day there, they were all so welcoming, and half of our class had already been in BARD the year before for their junior year, and they were all very close, but they all accepted us right into their group. They like Lynn, one of my personal favorites, is really amazing. I love Lynn. Devin, they're all so amazing, and the connections you make with them through BARD is really inspirational. It helps you motivate yourself to want to do better, and it also motivates the other people to want to do better.
Yeah, the small classroom environment makes it a lot easier to connect with your classmates and teachers. And I had something to say that you said that I don't remember. Oh, another reason that juniors should be able to do this is because the senior.
We didn't coach her to do this.
I just really wish I was able to do it. And I won't be able to because I'm already here, but other people should have this opportunity. But the current seniors, most of them did the BARD program as juniors, so they have a lot of shared memories and experiences that they bring up sometimes. And honestly, it makes me feel a little bit left out. But if I were in the program last year, I would not be feeling left out.
Thank you, ma'am.
If I can just say one thing, so in 2017, I was the one that worked with BARD and the districts in our region to create this program. So we need to connect again because staff has changed so that it is aidable. So this is another example of things that we need to kind of take stock of during that regionalization, because these are opportunities that are made possible so that the tuition is aidable for students from your district to go into this program.
Yeah, sounds like a great program.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right.
Thank you, wonderful job.
Oh,
Another
question. I have a question.
It's,
Why haven't we been voting juniors?
I
wonder that. Like, how come?
Yeah.
Like, me too, Ava.
there are reasons, and some of them are really partly due to resources. So, and I might put Aaron on the spot if he doesn't mind in a little bit, but let's kind of finish and then enter that discussion because Aaron chose to stay here as a senior. That has some implications with it, so I think those are good to talk about and get Aaron's thoughts on that too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So these are parent comments that I put in a word cloud rather than to take the time of going through all the testimonials. It's a word cloud that shows you how parents in the district have felt about their child attending the BARD
I
program.
wish Margaret were here because her daughter did the program and loved it and got a lot out of it.
Bye, King.
Bye.
Bye-bye, thank you. Fine, for your answer, the first year in the program, we had one student. Next year, one student, moved up to two. That was class of 2015. Since 2015, we've had three, and then a fourth.
And those were our limitations, correct? Or was it
Those were our
BARD's limitation? Those were.
Well, excuse me, the 1 and 2 years were not. We just had only those interested in it, so it was a new program. Since then, we put 3, last year we added the 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is some data for you on all 3 programs. It tells you the number of students in the cohort for the program. There's 2 years because of the Questar program being the juniors program. It breaks it down to how many were sending and the percentage of those students in a program like this compared to who's back on campus for the whole day. I also was going to do a slide on retention, and I think, Janine, you asked that question. So I went to do the slide, and the data was not significant. So 1 year from the junior to senior year, we had 0 students drop the Questar program. 1 year we might have 3, 1 year it might be 1. It wasn't significant enough to include on a slide. I think the significant piece is we're generally retaining our students in these programs once they begin. So if they start the BARD program in the fall, they're seeing it through to their end of their senior year. If they start the New Visions, they're seeing it to the end. If they start the Questar program as juniors in general, for the most part, they are seeing it through the end of their senior year, and there's a few cases where they find that's not the program for them, and that's really okay. They found out, they spent a year in the program and found out, oh, gee, I thought I wanted to do this. It's not. It's one thing off their checklist.
I have a question.
Certainly.
For the people that do the program for a whole year and then decide they don't want to anymore, what happens to the credits that they would have gotten?
They would come back to district and they might be able to fit into classes that would work for college credit and they might not. So let's say you decided at the end of January, BARD wasn't for you. Your memoir course would be the equivalent of 101, then you would go into 102 and be able in college.
What if I'm already taking English 101 also?
Then it would.
Would I still
probably
get
do-
more?
You know, and that would be unusual that would happen.
Yeah.
Because 101 is fall, 102 is spring.
I do like that it's about a third of the cohorts that are doing that. That's, I like that.
Yeah, it's really averaging about a third of our students are
Yeah.
doing some kind of specialized program their senior year. These programs align with our strategic plan. They provide that variety as well as challenge. We're continuously assessing the trend data for participation and retention rates, and we're looking at options. One of the options we're considering is bringing some BARD coursework on campus. The one that concerns me, and this is where I'll put Erin on the spot a little bit, is the calculus, AP calculus. So we didn't have enough students left on campus to offer that here this year in our schedule. So we went with a DL option. I believe there were 4 of you in the beginning, and Erin is the only one left in the DL option for AP calculus. That means we probably have students that didn't get their first desire met. They wanted to do AP calculus. They didn't feel the DL platform was the place to learn the DL, the calculus. Aaron was doing fine. He had no problem with that platform. So what we have to be careful about is we are small. So we have to make decisions based on student need and student wishes, and that changes from year to year. You know, we might have a year where we have 10 or so students that want AP calculus. So we're constantly working with the counselors to determine student desires and trying to make the best of our resources for all students. Would you like to add anything more to that, Erin?
So I think that the distance learning is a great opportunity to take classes that aren't here. And so last year I took AP biology, and there were 3 of us in the course, and we all did really well on the end exam. And in the AP calculus, I finished a quarter really well. And the teachers on the other end treat you as if you're in their room, and they're always trying to offer assistance whenever possible. And they're always trying to make sure that you're getting the same opportunities as the students in their actual class.
Thank you very much, because I did not prepare you for that, so I appreciate it. So that's really where this bullet comes in, right? That we're listening to student voice when we're considering whether we're going to add, expand, what we're going to bring on campus. We have had some beginning talks with Bard College about possibly having a Bard College professor come on campus and do the AP Calc as well as something else possibly. So we're still in those discussions, and we really try to meet the needs of all students. If we look at the mission statement, it's about every student, and that's what we try to do. And we also work with other districts. The regionalization piece that you heard about earlier is that piece where we collaborate and work together. So that's pretty much it. I would like to say an absolute big thank you to everyone who presented tonight, because that takes a lot of coordination to do a large group presentation for this length of time. And all the partners were absolutely wonderful to make this happen. So students as well as community partners. So thank you very much. Turn it over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. We need some light. I've been in the dark for too long. I can't see.
All right, well, oh, can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We just thought we'd try something a little different for a report. Just wanted to go over, these are my goals as superintendent in year 2. They are linked to the blueprint, the strategic blueprint as well. But they're all encompassing when we talk about leading and overseeing the implementation of the plan in the 3 areas that we are focusing on, which is academic excellence, school environment, and operations, continuing to foster a culture of collaboration, accountability, and professional growth for the district and our school administrators. We want to continue to drive excellence in leadership and student outcomes, so that's a focus this year, not only for me, but for our team. Advocating for equitable funding and resources. This was an unexpected big part of responsibilities last year, but I learned a lot from that and actually enjoyed that part of it. So continuing to advocate, participate in surveys, attend as many meetings, and work with local legislation to just prioritize what our needs are and letting them know how important it is that the funding is for public schools. And then continuing to build the communication across all stakeholders with our unions, our community members, our district staff, and all of this at the end is to promote excellence for our students. Some highlights from this month. We had a great superintendent's conference day. Bobby, Joe, Mato, and I went to the EV bus factory. We had a conference there, got to visit. We had our trunk or treat event, which was very, very well attended. The pumpkin run, our Veterans Day assemblies that went really well. A highlight to me was the student interaction with one another. We had our older students singing and our younger students in the audience, which was really great. The Ann Cram Opera House storytelling was wonderful to see. It was really great to see students that from 4th, 5th, and 6th grade and how they've grown through the years participating in that program. And then this past weekend, getting to see As You Like It. That's a wonderful opportunity for all of our students. Show a little bit of the slide.
Nice job! On your mark, get set, go! Good job. Nice job, everyone. Good job. Nice work. Nice. Whoa. Nice job. Excellent finish. Good job.
I think it's just important to note that that's part of our school environment, our culture, and, you know, bringing everybody together. Those are highlights, and they're really special moments. I just wanted to share, this was a wonderful opportunity. I was asked to go last year, and I just knew that was too much in the first year. I appreciated having a year to wait also, just so that I had an opportunity to learn more about this project and just even what's happening across the state and getting to talk with other superintendents from other districts. We were able to visit 2 facilities of Thomas Buses and the Proterra Battery Factory. I am totally a nerd right now about the Proterra batteries and just learning about that and how efficient they are. I think it's really important to know that this factory is the only place that's building batteries in the USA for buses like this, and they
Where's
are
it
who we're
located?
partnering with. Greer, South Carolina.
Wow.
And also to date, none of their batteries have caught on fire, and I think that's also really important because I do know before I came there were concerns about moving toward EV buses, but I think there's a lot that is going to be wonderful about this project moving forward. We do have 6 of our 10 buses ready for delivery. The first bus was delivered this past Friday. You may have heard tonight, but Bobby Joe mentioned that there was still a 59% charge on that battery after they drove that bus all the way from Ballston Spa. They anticipated it would only have 30%. So that's really exciting for us. All 10 buses are off of the production line, are in some process of being transported to Ballston Spa. That's where they get their last run through before they bring them here. And it seems like everything with this project started culminating at once. We came back from the trip, the chargers had been installed. Nick Smith and Bobby Joe have been working with NYSEG and just making sure that those final steps of connecting everything are coming together so that we should be ready to move forward. And we are hoping to have a soup with the soup and supervisor event sometime in December, so that we give community members an opportunity to come see what this is like, and that we can offer any questions and, you know, just affirm for people that this is a great opportunity for us as we move forward. I'm gonna play, want to play a minute of that because this was the music I was talking about.
And this is also Leah.
Yes. Oh, and Leah, who was here earlier, and she's singing in this and was absolutely amazing. and they're doing sign language. Amy Hilliard teaches them sign language with that, which is really wonderful. And I just wanted you to see some of the artwork that our younger students had done that was part of this day. Okay, I know that Lisa already spoke this evening, but I have to tell you that when you have people like this that work in your company or your district, they're really special, and it's hard to get that retirement letter, but I have to tell you, this is the best retirement letter I've ever gotten. She had a border of pictures of all the different dressing up that she'd done over the years, and just spoke so highly about our students and thanked the district for the opportunity to serve us. So she's definitely going to be missed, and very special person who's impacted hundreds, if not thousands of lives over the year, adults and students. So we're very grateful to Colleen, and we wish her the very best. We had our bus dedication and renaming. I think that he was, I do want to point out just two really quickly, the Shakespeare and Company, what was really great about that is you don't have to understand Shakespeare to see the passion that our students had for that opportunity, and they will be this weekend in Lenox, Mass, performing again Friday night at 6:15 p.m. I just think that's really important as well. And I did forget to mention that for our last conference day, we always send out a feedback, and we had 124 people respond to it. And we focused a lot on Tier 1 instruction, movement. Teachers are learning about movement in the classroom, movement that engages kids in participating, in learning, and energizing them. There's 3 different kinds. So these are things that we're working on building that are consistent across the district. And these are just some upcoming things that are going on in our district, just to make you aware of that. It's going to be a busy but exciting month through the holidays. Always a good time. All right, any questions? Okay, thanks. Getting those lights back on.
Thank you. I feel like I'm ready to go to sleep. All right, let's see where we are. Oh, the student liaison report. All right, you have something to report to us?
Yes.
All right.
So I would like to begin by introducing myself as a student liaison to the Board of Education. And so the first topic I'm going to cover is student achievement. So every Friday, this high school continues to recognize students that go above and beyond with Tight and Strong certificate awards. With the fall sports season concluding, some of the athletes were chosen for all-star teams and for senior showcase games. For artwork, there are art pieces that were displayed at the Columbia County Fair in the main atrium for all students in the school to see. The next topic I'm covering is school events and activities. This past Friday and Saturday, high school students performed the play As You Like It, which was a Shakespeare and Company play. They perform next this Friday at 6:15 in Lenox. Coming up in December, on December 7th, the Taconic Hills Senior Class of 2025 is hosting the craft fair. And so the craft fair was a regular tradition before COVID. And once COVID hit, the craft fair was really put off for a while. And so we hope to bring this back, and it will be December 7th from 10 to 4. And there's going to be food, whether we're definitely having a concession and possibly a food truck. We're having a kids corner, which consists of face painting, pictures with Santa and elves, and a bunch of different other things for the kids, while like parents, if they want to shop around the vendors. We will have a paint and snack we will have a bake sale, and there will also be a raffle and silent auction going on. Recently, the National Honor Society made hand turkeys and with positive messages on them, and these were delivered to Pine Haven Nursing Home for Thanksgiving. On election day, there was a mock presidential election run in the library, and so students in grades 7 through 12 were able to enter the library, and they waited in lines and were checked off of a list and then anonymously voted. But the students were able to see how an in-person election runs, and the students really loved the whole idea. There have been a lot of college fairs in the high school, and so the college fairs usually set up outside of the library, which is where many of the students travel throughout the day. And they provide a lot of information for students for local colleges, and there's even like some colleges that come that have instant admissions. So this allows students to be instantly admitted right on the spot without even having to apply anywhere else. And this is a really good opportunity. Coming up, there is a Siena field trip for students, and students are able to go to Siena for a college tour. And that's being offered during the school day. A couple of weeks ago, a financial aid officer from Siena College came and gave a presentation on FAFSA information and college application information for students to really see how to apply for FAFSA and all of the ins and outs of the college application. So that was really helpful for students. And the next topic is academic updates. So a peer tutoring program has started in the high school, and so students are able to either sign up in the library anonymously or with their counselors. And so this is a great opportunity for students because a lot of students that need the help aren't willing to stay after school with the teachers to obtain the help. And so with this program, students can be tutored during work halls or lunches throughout the actual school day. And this also betters relationships with certain students. Coming up, there are English 101 projects. And so this is the college English class in the high school, and seniors have been working on research papers for the past couple of months. And they were allowed to research any topic they wanted to. And they will be presenting their findings on December 11th in the library, beginning at 8:30 a.m. In the beginning of the school year, there was a change in terms of college classes. And so in previous years, students have only been able to take a total of 9 college credits through Columbia Green Community College. And that's because the courses are 3 to 4 credits. And if a student was to take 4 credits, that would put them at 12 or more credits. And that would make the student considered to be a full-time college student. And so that would interfere with the first year of their financial aid application. And so this year, the curriculum department got a waive through Columbia Green Community College for students to be able to take 13 credits per semester through Columbia Green Community College. And those students are really grateful for that opportunity because it gives them an extra 8 credits over the course of the year that they wouldn't have gotten in previous years. With the DL courses, there are many distance learning courses that aren't offered here. And so, like I said before, I personally took AP Biology last year and I'm taking AP Calculus this year. But it's allowed me to participate in challenging courses that weren't offered here. And it also allows for more college credit to be obtained. And the student mentoring program started back up again this year. So that's where high school students can sign up to volunteer in the elementary during their lunches or work calls, and they can work in elementary classrooms to help out, but it allows for the little kids to kind of get to know some of the older kids to feel more comfortable around them. So the next topic is student concerns. So I conducted a survey on the Yonder pouches to gain student opinions on the pouches. There was roughly a 50-50, there was roughly a 50% to 50% rate at which 50% of students said that they were using their phones less and 50% had said that they were using their phones the same. But that's still showing great improvement in terms of 50% of kids using their phones less than last year. However, there were some common hiccups that students had saw with the pouches, and I think that the best idea to fix these problems is to start a committee with maybe administrators and students. That way these problems can kind of be worked out. An example of one of the problems, or one of the concerns is 80% of the students in the survey had said that they would like the opportunity to have the chance to sign out a Yonder pouch, only because if students feel responsible enough to keep their phones away, the Yonder pouch is just an extra responsibility of having to keep. Some of the positive changes. So in the high school classrooms, there are now learning objectives posted every day. And so teachers have to post a new learning objective at the start of class each day. And this learning objective helps students to see what's expected to be taken out of the lesson that day. The library, on the outside of the library, there's now a billboard up with days labeled Monday through Friday, and on the billboard you can find sport events that are going on in the high school, like varsity team sports, but there's also information regarding meetings. So if there's, for example, an honor society meeting on Tuesday, the poster will have that information posted on the billboard. That way students can easily see this information. For Halloween, in the past, Halloween is just kind of, the students always dress up, but this year was different in the way that most of the teachers dressed up as Where's Waldo? And so students went around asking them where they were, and the teachers gave the students hints. And if the student figured out where the teacher was located, they got a slip of paper, and the students with the most amounts of slips of paper at the end of the day were rewarded with a pizza party with Dr. Teeter. But the kids really loved that whole event. In the hallway, there's many different posters. Some of the posters include SAT information, like quit vaping posters. There's drama club boards. There's an honor society board, and then there were lots of posters up for the Panama trip, even though there weren't enough kids for that trip to go through. And then with the morning announcements, last year there were a couple of kids that had switched between doing announcements daily, but this year any student can sign up to do the announcements in the library, and so it kind of gives every student an opportunity to do the announcements if they would like to. And with that, I will conclude my report by thanking the Board of Education for this position.
That was a great report.
So I would just like to say that Aaron is very humble because he is the person who started the peer-to-peer tutoring program.
Nice.
Organized the entire thing by himself, got the sign-up sheets, got the students to be the tutors. And he's been great with that, so very humble. He glosses over that, but he's the one that established that.
Well, I like how he has all this information, so you have to, I mean, it's not like you know all that information, so it's like you have you're reporting you're going to people and asking them. I love that. So that's a great report.
Just a couple other things at the craft fair, the Voyager will be there and available. The Panama trip is just postponed. The intention is that it would be next year in February. And I forgot about the turkeys, which I was staring at while you were talking there. You did a great job. But we just want to thank the library and Mr. Coker for making those for all of you.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, the Board of Activity report. So I see it's 8:30, so I know that the people that went to the conference, I was gonna have them report out, but I think we'll do it next month, right? All right. I'm good with that. Did anyone else do anything? Our conference reports will be a little lengthy. I know mine will be, but I don't know about the Ron and Joe, but I know I'll be talking.
What, we're postponing them?
We're gonna until next
Yeah,
month.
that's good, because this is last year's notebook.
That's hilarious. That's
wouldn't know the difference. But I wasn't gonna.
What is that?
I was gonna ask to defer my report till next month because I saved everything and I have all my notes from all.
We'll defer to next month.
And I grabbed the wrong one.
But is anyone did anything other than the conference? Anyone wanna? Okay, all right, we'll move on. Policies, so we have the first read of a few there, and then our second read is 6,700, 6,710, 1120, 8520. So what I need is a motion to adopt those policies. Motion, please. Kevin, second. Molly, any questions on those policies? All in favor? I know you. Did you read them, Mark? I know you did.
Policy 820, right?
Yeah, I know you did. So now I need a motion for the MOA with the Chicana Kills Faculty Association to allow Tanya Ham to hold all art club sessions between September 2024 and March 2025. Motion, please. Kevin, second. Heidi, any questions? All in favor? All right, I need a motion for the MOA, the Chicana Kills support staff, we're gonna give them a paid off day the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Motion, please. Molly, second. Kevin, any questions? All in favor? The financial reserves plan update. So last night we did the workshop that Ashley presented. There was only one change, right? Ashley, was the change, there were two changes to the reserve, the financial reserve plan.
Yes,
Yeah.
I updated all the reserves.
Yeah, we just updated it. I need a motion, please. Joe, second. Molly. All right. Sure. Okay, all in favor? And Kevin is abstaining. All right, I need a motion for the agreement with Columbia Opportunities for transportation agreement. Motion, Kevin, second. Janine, Jesus, I was gonna call you Margaret, I'm sorry. Any questions? All in favor? I tricked you. All right, now I need motion. We have two donations, $2,000 from the Regional Food Bank to use towards a stipend for the backpack program, and $359.04 from Hannaford to help schools Hannaford helps schools to go to the junior, senior high school. Motion, please. Molly, second. Heidi, any questions? All in favor? Disposal of 60 old football jerseys and 2 Nevco shot clocks. I need a motion, please. What, you want them?
What, yeah, 88?
88, 89. That was a good year. You go look at the picture.
Motion? Joe, second. Kevin? Any questions? All in favor? All right, the athletic coaching schedule, need a motion for the approval of the revised athletics coaching schedule. Motion, Kevin, second. Rick? I see I looked your way this time.
Yeah.
Any questions?
She's bad at that.
I am. All in
Very
favor?
bad at it. 2 years I sat there, never got a motion.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. All right, so we have a walk-on resolution, which is in the back, in your packets, it's the last page. So it's a resolution for the state of New York for the purpose of entering into a contract with Cooperative Educational Services for their Xerox copier. Motion, please. Joe, second. Kevin. Any questions? All in favor? Okay. And then we have another walk-on resolution, which is the bus garage dedication and renaming that we did this evening before the board meeting. So can I have a motion, please? Motion. He wanted to make sure he got that motion. Okay,
Calm down over there.
Rick is second. Joe? Any questions? All in favor? You know, that's really what you have to do, you know. Just. Yeah, do the shoulder. All right, next is the personnel agenda. So we have B through, where's it go? B through R, nope. Yes, B through R. Motion, please. Kevin, second. Molly. Any questions or any, you know, we can go through this. You know, it talks about Colleen Miller, 30 years of service with the school district, and, you know, all the people that spoke with her tonight. She was certainly, like I said, I always think of her as joy, because everywhere you look, she just makes you happy whenever you see her. I love her. So we'll definitely be missing her. A what? Where's that? Which one? F? The abolishment of teacher aide position? Kevin wants to know. Yeah.
No, nobody moved out of district. We had to replace Colleen. So we were able to, we also have someone returning from a maternity leave. We had somebody in-house that we could move into Colleen's position, so it was just a matter of moving some people around, and we just didn't need to fill it.
And I saw somewhere, or do we not have, because I saw that we had the rescinds of the volleyball coaches. Are we not having teams? Is that why?
Right, we didn't have a.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to verify that. We didn't have a team. That's what I figured. Okay.
Good luck.
And I guess, oh, then we have a field work. Is that like a student teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, I like that. It's going to be with Ryan Kendrick and Holly Van Tassel. Okay, anybody got any questions? All in favor? All right. So now we have additional items to discuss. I don't have anything, if anyone else does. We are going to need an executive session tonight, guys, unfortunately, so I'm sorry about that. I need a motion to go to executive session to discuss some discussing current litigations. Ron and Joe, okay. Thank you, all in favor? Joe, all in favor?